Dawn Staley said Clark's chances of making the team would have been a lot higher if she and her fellow committee members were selecting the roster today. This had some observers wondering if the presence of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese would have the stands packed for Team USA.
Imagine selling tickets to see Team USA for just $24. Crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what happened when they played Germany, and you know what's even crazier? This disaster might have been avoided if they hadn't left Caitlin Clark off the team. So picture this, Team USA is gearing up for a big game against Germany. It's supposed to be this epic showdown, right? Two powerhouse teams battling it out on the court. You'd expect the arena to be buzzing with excitement. Fans decked out in red, white, and blue, ready to cheer their hearts out. But when game day rolls around, something's off. The atmosphere. It's like walking into a library. The stands are eerily quiet, and there are more empty seats than filled ones. It's so quiet you can hear the players' shoes squeaking on the court from the nosebleed section. Now, contrast that with what we've been seeing in the WNBA lately. Arenas packed to the rafters, fans going wild, energy through the roof. It's been electric, especially when Caitlin Clark's on the court. But this Team USA game, it's like all the air got sucked out of the... Here's where it gets crazy. You know how much tickets were going for? Brace yourself, $24. That's right, $24 to see Team USA play. It's like they're practically giving them away for a national team game. That's unheard of. Usually, you'd be lucky to snag nosebleed seats for triple that price. So what's going on here? Well, it doesn't take a genius to connect the dots. Caitlin Clark's not on the team, and suddenly nobody's showing up. It's like the Caitlin Clark effect in reverse. When she plays, arenas are packed. When she's left off the roster, crickets. Let's break it down. Clark's been drawing over 16,000 fans per game for the Indiana Fever. That's massive for the WNBA. People are literally flocking to see her play, and it's not just about numbers, it's about the buzz, the excitement she brings to every game. Now, Team USA, they've got a roster full of stars. We're talking about some of the best players in the world, but without Clark, something's missing. It's like they've got all the ingredients for a gourmet meal, but they left out the secret sauce that makes it irresistible. This isn't just about one empty arena or one game with cheap tickets. It's a wake-up call. It shows how much impact one player can have, not just on the court, but on the entire sport. Clark's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. She's got that magic that turns casual viewers into die-hard fans. And here's the kicker, Team USA knew this might happen. Reports are saying they were worried about how fans would react if Clark made the team, but didn't get much playing time. So instead of finding a way to showcase her talent, they left her off completely. Talk about a backfire. This whole situation is shining a spotlight on a bigger issue in women's basketball. It's not just about picking the best players anymore. It's about understanding what the fans want. What gets people excited about the sport? Clark represents a new wave of excitement in women's basketball, and Team USA just missed the wave. But you know what's really interesting about all this? It's not just affecting ticket sales and attendance, it's changing the whole conversation around women's basketball. People who've never paid attention before are suddenly talking about roster selections and team strategies. It's like Clark's snub has accidentally turned everyone into an armchair coach. So we've seen the empty seats and the rock bottom ticket prices for Team USA. But what about Caitlin Clark? How's she handling this whole situation? Let me tell you, it's not what you might expect. When the news broke that Clark didn't make the Olympic team, everyone was waiting to see how she'd react. Would she be angry, disappointed, maybe even throw a little shade at Team USA? Nope, not Caitlin Clark. Instead, she came out with the most positive attitude you can imagine. She said, "I think it just gives you something to work for. That's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there." Can you believe that? No bitterness, no complaints, just pure determination and focus on the future. But here's where it gets really interesting. Remember that phrase, "They woke a monster"? Well, that's exactly what happened with Clark. She's not just talking about working harder, she's out there proving it on the court. Get this, Clark became the first player in WNBA history to rack up at least 200 points and 75 assists in her first 12 career games. That's not just good, that's historic. She's out there breaking records left and right, making plays that have fans and commentators alike scratching their heads in disbelief. And it's not just about the stats. Clark's bringing an energy to the game that's electrifying. Every time she steps on the court, it's like the whole arena holds its breath, waiting to see what she'll do next. Will it be a no-look pass that threads the needle between three defenders? A three-pointer from way downtown? Or maybe one of those coast-to-coast drives that leaves everyone in her dust? But here's what's really impressive about Clark. Even with all this success, even as she's proving the doubters wrong game after game, she's still supporting Team USA. Can you believe that? The team that left her off the roster, and she's out there cheering for them to win gold. Clark said she's excited for the players who made the team and that she'll be rooting for them all the way. That's some next level sportsmanship right there. It shows that Clark isn't just an incredible athlete, she's a class act all the way. Now you might be thinking, doesn't she need a break? All this pressure, all these games, it's gotta be taking a toll, right? Clark's got an answer for that too. She said, I think the break's definitely been good. She's using this time to recharge, to take care of her health, and to come back even stronger. All right, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture here. Caitlin Clark's snub isn't just about one player or one team. It's shaking up the entire world of women's basketball. We're talking debates, discussions, and some serious soul-searching about how teams pick their players and what fans really want to see. Think about it. Team USA had a tough choice to make. On one hand, you've got Caitlin Clark, this rising star who's setting the courts on fire and bringing in fans by the thousands. On the other hand, you've got a bunch of established players with years of experience under their belts. It's like choosing between the hottest new smartphone and the reliable old model you've had for years. Not an easy call, right? But here's where it gets really interesting. Team USA went with the tried and true lineup, and now they're playing to empty seats. Meanwhile, Clark's lighting up the WNBA and drawing record crowds. It's like they chose the old flip phone over the latest iPhone, and now everyone's wondering why they can't get on TikTok. This isn't just about filling seats, though. It's about growing the sport on a global stage. The Olympics is like the Super Bowl of international basketball. It's where new fans are made, where people who've never watched a game before might tune in and get hooked. And Team USA just passed on their best chance to grab those new fans. Imagine if Clark was out there doing her thing on the Olympic court. You'd have people from all over the world watching, jaws dropping, thinking, wow, is this what women's basketball is like? I need to see more of this. It could have been a game changer for the sport's popularity, but instead we're left wondering what could have been. It's like Team USA forgot that sports isn't just about who's the best on paper. It's about excitement. It's about star power. It's about giving the fans something to cheer for. Now, Clark isn't the first star to get snubbed from a big team. Remember when Shaquille O'Neal didn't make the Dream Team in 1992? Or when Christian Lettner got picked over Shaq? People still talk about those decisions today. And you know what? They're going to be talking about Caitlin Clark's snub for years to come too. This whole situation is forcing everyone in women's basketball to take a hard look at how they do things. It's not just about picking the 12 best individual players anymore. It's about building a team that can win games and win fans. It's about understanding that in today's world, star power and social media buzz matter just as much as on-court skills. Dawn Staley, who was on the selection committee, said Clark's not yet one of the top 12 players in the country, but here's the thing. Maybe being in the top 12 isn't the only thing that matters anymore. Maybe it's time to start thinking about the bigger picture. Because let's face it, women's basketball is at a turning point. It's growing fast, getting more attention than ever before, and players like Caitlin Clark are a big part of why that's happening. She's not just a great player, she's a transformative figure. She's the kind of player who can turn casual viewers into diehard fans. So when Team USA left her off the roster, they didn't just leave out a player, they left out an opportunity to showcase the future of the sport on the biggest stage in the world. They missed a chance to ride the wave of excitement that Clark's been creating.